Okay, so as I had talked about in the first video, my intent with how I'm going to do this now is to give you 2 videos a week. Um, for those of you who don't know, or maybe you're new to this, my name is Jody. I've had a couple restaurants in the past. I do not claim to be a chef, but I have worked around a lot of really good chefs, and I've picked up a lot of pointers that have allowed me to cook food at home that you probably really only see in a restaurant. And I'm just trying to give you a background of how to do this to make it all work. And to give you the confidence to do this at home. You can do this. Everything I'm going to show you right now, I learned how to do myself. So if I can do it, you can do it. Now, as I mentioned in the first video, my intent with how I'm going to structure this now, I'm going to do 1 video a week where it's what I was doing in the past. And if you watch this in the past, you know that I like to go to the store, find out what's on discount. You know, if pork chops are on sale, I'll buy the pork chops, and then I'll buy the discount bread and bring it home and show you how to make it work on a budget. What's a little different this time is the second video I'm going to do a week, we are going to focus on a specific type of cuisine. And what do I mean by that? So maybe in the month of September, I'm going to do Spanish food. So my second video every week is going to focus on a classic Spanish dish. Now, I don't purport to know how to cook Spanish, German, Portuguese well. I'm going to kind of learn this along with you, so you're going to see me screw it up and probably make some stuff that's not overly appealing, but we're going to give it a shot, and I'm going to work through it with you. And hopefully you can pick up some pointers to how to dabble into some of these cuisines. You know, I'm fairly skilled in Chinese, Japanese, Thai food because it's one of my favorites. But when it comes to Indian food, South American cuisine, I'm not overly skilled. So we're going to give it a shot together. Today, I'm going to do a Vietnamese Bahn Mi sandwich. This is a very popular sandwich. You probably have heard of this. A lot of places do this. Now, because this is the end of August, and I'm not going to do a month on Vietnamese food, at least not right away, but I wanted to give you kind of a taste of what I'm talking about as far as these international cuisines. So, let's get started on this, and I think we're all ready to go here, so let's get right into it. So, first thing we're going to do, and I can't help getting away from my budgetary constraints sometimes, so what did I find? I got pork chops that were on sale. That kind of gave me the inspiration to do the sandwich. This bread was a day-old bread. It was on sale for $1. So here we go with this. First thing I'm going to do, we're going to take some mayo. We're going to put it in a bowl. It's probably more than I need, but I'm going to take some garlic powder. So here for a minute. And we're going to take a little bit of parsley. Stem out of there. Right. I'm not going crazy with this. This is just to add a little bit of flavor. Put this together. We're going to mix this up. Essentially, we're just making a flavored mayo. Okay? Right. Simple enough. We're going to take this mayo mixture and we are going to coat our rolls. So, set that there. We're just going to hit each roll. So this is essentially, instead of buttering the bread, we're using mayo, and a flavored mayo. Actually, I think my mayonnaise estimate might have been pretty good. Even a little bit shy. So let's steal some from these guys. Finish this last one off. Okay. We're just going to put this in the oven. I just want this to bake. That mayonnaise will kind of melt into that bread and give it a real nice golden brown color. All right. Next, we have these pork chops, which I'm going to cut into thin slices. Now, I didn't do this ahead of time because I wanted to show you how quickly you can do this. All right. So here we go. A little bit of fat on the end of that guy we'll trim off. Right? Now, as I'm doing this, let me just talk a little bit more about how we're going to set this whole project up. So next month, and I haven't decided which cuisine we're going to do yet, but I'm going to pick something, and I'm going to post the recipes ahead of time. So if you want to follow along with me, you can. And I would encourage you to check out the webpage, which is cookingorsomethingLikeIt.com. There's links to it on the Facebook page, which is where I'm sure you're watching this video. But that's going to be our kind of central repository for all things related to this little endeavor I'm doing here. So there's going to be a calendar there that's going to have the recipes for the month. So if you want to follow along, you can. I will post what we're going to do next month. I actually have somebody coming on board that's going to help me a little bit with this because, while I might be able to cook Bahn Mi sandwiches, my social media and online skills, web page skills are not top notch. So, not that my cooking skills are either, but so I have somebody coming on to help me, and once he is up to speed, we'll get a lot more content out for you. But until he's up to speed, I don't want to go too far with this and announce too much because we may change some of that. But okay, so here we go. Pork is cut up. We're gonna get this out of the way. Remember, with raw pork, you gotta be very careful. We're gonna give our knife a good rinse. I'm gonna wash that off real good. Last thing you want to do is get sick on raw pork. Okay, so we have our pork strips. Now this is Chinese 5-spice. This is something you can buy already mixed. It's literally 5 spices. It's anise, star anise, cinnamon, nutmeg, I believe. I'm sorry, ginger and cloves. So we're gonna put this on the pork. And it's very, very fragrant. So you'll smell all those spices in there. So you can toss that good. I've already got some oil in the pan. I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper in here. And yes, for those of you that commented about me not using fresh ground black pepper, I again forgot to buy fresh peppercorns, so we're using our backup pepper. And thank you for pointing that out. All right, so here we go. Mixed up right in the frying pan. Right? We're going to let those go for a little bit. Shouldn't take too long with strips. Wash my hand off real quick. Now we got to make the toppings. Right? This is shredded lettuce. You can use, I actually thought about using Savoy cabbage or Napa cabbage. You could even use bok choy if you wanted to, but you just need something shredded. And I have some shredded carrot. This is fresh carrot. We're just going to mix these together. A little bit of rice wine vinegar. And we want to do this ahead of time because we want these flavors, give this a little bit of time to kind of meld together. So I'd say a tablespoon, maybe 2. Give that a toss. And honestly, don't be afraid to use your hands. It's a lot easier to mix stuff with your hands. All right, so now we've got like a nice carrot lettuce topping, right? Now, in the meantime, and I've kind of done this ahead of time just to save some time here, we have jalapenos. These are just thinly sliced jalapenos. If you don't like hot things, don't use the jalapeno. It's really that simple. It's not necessary. The other thing we've got here, you can really smell that cinnamon and that spice coming off of this. And we'll let that go. All right. The other thing I have here is a cucumber that I've peeled, okay? Now, what we want to do is we're going to just make strips. So you see that? Right here. You just want to make thin strips like that. Best way to do it is with a peeler. These are just going to go on top of the sandwiches, and it doesn't matter if you get them all the way down or not. They don't have to be a certain length. In fact, you probably don't want them to be too long, so see what I'm doing here? just to cut a few, just so I can show you what I'm doing. The other thing I got here is green onion. Those are the top parts of the green onion. They're a little bit tender. And then I've got the bottom parts down here, which I'm actually going to throw in with the pork right now. The bottom parts of a green onion, or scallion, if you will, are a little bit tougher. So you want to cook them down a little bit more, which is why I'm going to add them now to the cooked dish. And you can see this pork is already cooked fairly well. I can smell that garlic on the bread that's in the oven. So I know we're getting pretty close on that. Let that get going. It's almost there. Now, I talked about this last time, and a couple people actually messaged me about it. This is what I use as a substitute for soy sauce. It doesn't have as much salt. In fact, it has almost no salt compared to soy sauce. This is Bragg's amino acid, B-R-A-G-G. It's very similar to soy sauce in flavor, and it makes a great soy sauce substitute if you're looking to get away from a little bit of the salt. Okay? Now this, if you've never seen this, is called ma ploy. It is a sweet chili sauce. A lot of places, especially, well, a lot of places around the world, this is used as a condiment just like ketchup. And if you dined out in cities and larger urban areas in the U.S., it's starting to become more and more popular there too. So we're going to take this, and we're going to mix, I don't know, about a half a cup, give or take a little bit. Now we're going to take about a tablespoon, maybe a little more of that soy sauce. And I will post all these quantities online. We're just going to mix this up. Now, we're going to add this to the pork, and the reason I tell you that ahead of time, the sweet Thai chili sauce has sugar in it. So when you add this to the pork, it's going to thicken, and it's going to thicken fairly quickly. So you want to keep an eye on it. In fact, I would turn the heat down a little bit. I've got my heat on high right now. When I add this, I'm going to turn it down to medium. All right. But before I do that, I just want that pork to go a little bit longer. There it is. We're just going to chop a little bit more parsley to put on top. Now, normally, I would prefer cilantro, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I thought I had cilantro, or I would have gotten some, but what we have is parsley, and we're going to make it work, and parsley will work just fine for this. Okay? This is more of a garnishment rather than a primary component. It will add a little bit of earthiness to it, but the parsley is totally fine. But for the record, I would use cilantro. Okay, so we've got that there. Now we're going to take our sweet Thai chili soy sauce. We're going to mix it right in there with the pork. I'm going to give it a toss. Let that cook a little bit. Just let that cook together. Let's see how our rolls are looking really nice. All right, we're going to pull those out. All right, see that? The mayonnaise just kind of browns up a little bit. You got that great flavor that's going to come through the mayonnaise because of the oil and a little bit of hardiness to it. The parsley's on there, and you've got some garlic in there already. So let's take a plate. We are going to take one of these. Grab some tongs. All right. Put some pork on there. Take some of our cucumber, lay it right on top. I like spicy stuff, so I'm going to throw some jalapenos on here. Now we've got our mixture here, and now you can see that vinegar soaked right in, all right? So take this, Drizzle it right on top. A little bit of parsley. And we've got Vietnamese Bahn Mi sandwich. I guarantee if you make this for people, they will love it. It seems super fancy. Obviously, I plated it on this plate, so there's a little bit around the outside, but if you take this off here, serve it with a little bit of rice or maybe some grilled bok choy, this will be a hit at anything you do. If you wanted to take this pork, instead of doing it in a pan like this, grill it and then toss it in the sauce, that would work great. The other thing you can do is, if you want it a little more saucy, just take a little bit of the sauce out of your pan, drizzle it over the top. It'll add a little more flavor to your sandwich. So we went from raw to a fully cooked sandwich in about 15 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share the video. The more people I get watching them, the more I can do with this. Check out the website. Check out the Facebook page. There's a lot more coming, and we'll see you next time.